Joining us now from Washington, D.C. is ABC News contributor Tom Bossert, a former White House Homeland Security advisor to President Trump. Tom, thanks so much for joining us this morning. I want to jump right to it. We saw in Trevor's story there are thousands of people protesting stay-at-home orders, and there's no question people are suffering economically. But what should the message be to these protesters from government officials?
Yeah, good morning, Whit. So right now we've just seen, and today's important, all the federal guidelines expire, and the whole country, not just the Californians, woke up having to understand what their state and local authorities are recommending in their area. And I think that for the greater part of America, they don't know. And so the message needs to be inform, influence, to take the right steps, and then inspire them to get through it. But in that influence category, we ought to be talking about how to reopen businesses, not how long to keep them closed. I'm not sympathizing with the protesters here. I've been through a lot of disasters and crises where we always see some people that demand their rights to do things that put then first responders and hospital workers in harm's way, and then they become the first ones that demand or expect to be treated and taken care of. And so they break the social contract not with government but with each other, and that's always the very frustrating thing. But I see what they're saying in that they don't see disease around them. But what they don't see is that the third gating criteria that we talk about is an onus on the state to have some ability to detect and isolate a second wave that starts to break out in any community. So the message has to be how to get them to understand this change in societal behavior without feeling like we're trying to socially engineer them.
Now, governors, Tom, we know are forced to make excruciating decisions here. Right now, it is a fact that opening businesses will result in more people getting sick and more lives lost. But we can't shelter in place forever. How should our leaders be calculating that risk?
Well, I'm not entirely certain that I would accept that as the framing. In other words, that there's either a one or the other outcome. What I think we can achieve is returning to a sense of normal that's not the exact same normal we experienced before, so people can reopen their businesses. These beaches are a flashpoint, not because I don't think everyone wants to go sit on the beach, but because those beaches support a local economy. And so we can get some of those stores open in some way, but I guess what I would tell you is this. More information at state and local levels relevant to the people consuming that information, and less information from institutions defending themselves and the sufficiency of their efforts so far, things that are about defending the politicians. But I'll tell you this, you framed it the right way that a second outbreak will happen. I actually believe the first outbreak's not done yet, and we're going to continue to see throughout the summer death tolls that climb into the 90,000 and 100,000 level. And so we're going to have to, at this point, make clear that accepting risk isn't a personal decision. Accepting risk is a common decision to the entire community. And if we return to these businesses, one of the people you've interviewed here on the program made it clear, if it's done prematurely, it's not sustainable and all their economic problems won't be solved. So I have confidence in Governor Newsom. He's probably 2 or 3 days away from giving concrete guidance. He just hasn't done it in time for those protesters, but he's done it in time for the supermajority of people that he has protected in his state.
And there's pain and suffering on all sides, no question about that. Tom Bossert, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.